Class 11, we were doing the chapter growth and development. I have already introduced you to the term economic growth. Now, what do you mean by economic growth? Basically, the nation's production, if it increases, and out of production, if nation's income increases, then that national income, when distributed among the people, is going to increase per person income or per capita income. So that is known as economic growth. So when any nation's production increases, now we are talking about real production, means the national income should not increase only due to inflation or price rise. There must be real increase in the production levels, and that should increase the nation's income, and when distributed, the national income should increase the share of income received by every person. So these three are indicating that economic growth is taking place within a nation. So what are the indicators of economic growth? Number one, increase in national product. We write it like this: real net national product. Number two, increase in real net per capita production. Now what do you mean by this? Now how can production increase? Now production can increase if people's participation or labor's participation in the production increases. So that increase in national product will obviously hint that there is economic growth taking place. Increase in real net per capita production, that means per person's participation in production also increase, because if the people don't participate, if they don't increase their productivity, then outcome or national product cannot be increased. Number three, increase in per capita income. So when you can see that people's involvement in production increases, they produce more and more of good efficiently, their productivity increases, then according to their productivity they will receive income. So there will be an increase in per person income as well. And four, with this increased income that people get, they will try to raise their standard of living or their lifestyle. So there will be an increase of standard of living. We also call it SOL, standard of living. So these are the basic indicators of economic growth. So when can you say economic growth is taking place? Suppose 1000 units are produced in a country of commodity X. I am taking as example because there are X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, huge range of commodities production takes place in a country in a certain time period. So I am just taking for simplicity, suppose X is the only good produced and 1000 units of X are produced, and after selling X, the nation receives a rupees 1 lakh. Now, if national income increases due to price rise, that means the production remains at 1000 units only, but the income becomes rupees 1.5 lakh after sale of this production because of some price rise that have taken place. So we cannot call it economic growth, because the income that increases of nation is just due to inflation and not due to increase in production. So when real production takes place, that means production increases really, of X and that gives you a higher income, we call it economic growth have taken place. And that increased production will increase nation's income, and nation's income when distributed will increase the per person income, those who are participating in production. So how can we understand that whether a nation is growing or not? Indicators are there. So these are the 4 indicators which tells you that nations is facing or experiencing economic growth. Increase in net national production, increase in net national people's participation. Per capita production means every people's contribution to production increases, and that is why the ultimate production increases. Now if they participate more efficiently, they show their productivity, then per person's income will also increase within the country, and with that income they will also try to raise the standard of living. So in the particular nation you will see that increase in the standard of living slowly happens to take place. So these are the indicators of economic growth. Now for example, in every nation there is a population pressure or population growth also taking place. So side by side economic growth, suppose there is a population growth taking place. So economic growth means rise in production that raises the nation's income, and which in turn raises the per capita income. We generally write income as Y, so I have written over here. So it is going to increase the per capita or per person income. But if population also increases by the same rate, then let us check what is happening. Suppose ₹1000, I am taking very small units so that you can understand. Suppose ₹1000 is the national income, and suppose a nation is comprised of only 10 people. Only 10 people. So the population, entire population of the nation, I have taken only 10 people, which is actually not happening. So it's a hypothetical or simplified example that I am taking. So what will be the per person income? So ₹1000 is the total income of the nation out of production, and 10 people have participated in it. So each individual is going to get ₹100. Now if suppose due to increase in production the nation's income have increased to 2000, but population is also growing and 10 people instead of 10 it has become 20. Now per capita income will be how much? Still remaining the same. So what does it hint at? Even if production increases or national income increases, but if population also increases at the same or a very high rate, then per capita or per person income might not rise. So what is necessary over here? In order to increase the per capita income, definitely national income should increase through rise of production, but you cannot allow the population to grow at such a higher rate. So what you will say? That the net national product increase that leads to national income increase, the speed or the rate of increase should be at least higher than the speed with which the population is increasing. So the rate of population rise should be at least less than the rate of increase of national income or national production, so that per capita income increases and the economy experiences growth.